new year. It's a new decade, everybody. But still same faces, except with you guys right here. I'm Andre Felix, by the way.
Yes, Happy New Year, everybody. Yes, it's 2020, and a pleasant good morning to all those that are awake early this morning to join us. I am Christine Jacob, and we will keep you company until 7:30.
That's right. So Happy New Year to everyone. Hope everyone was safe amidst last night's revelry.
Yes.
And glad you could join us. I'm Dr. Freddy Gomez.
And Happy New Year! Anigong bagong taon.
Yes.
Prospero Año Nuevo.
Wow.
Sitting in for Miss Ria Tanwat Cotrillo, who's
Mr. David
on
Santos.
vacation. I'm David Santos.
Yes.
Pleasant.
Good
It's
morning.
always
Happy
nice
New
having
Year.
you with us.
So
in the morning.
David was here yesterday as well. When I was at Okada, Manila, I was talking to David. You were here in the studio. So after that, how did you celebrate New Year's, David?
Well, basically, I went to church. Siyempre, kailangan.
Kailangan
Of course.
talaga.
But, I slept it too. To be honest about it. Because, siyempre, we are reporting early today.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
I decided to sleep.
No fireworks, no nothing?
Wala na. But I do hope to meet friends and family tonight.
Kasi pwede pa mag-celebrate
parang
today.
post-New
Pwede
Year.
pa
Kasi ngayon,
mag-celebrate
January
today.
1, 2020. I heard that your husband had a surf and turf night.
Yes, it was
at your
my
place.
husband's night to celebrate, and of course, it was just us at home with my in-laws.
Fireworks?
Fireworks we watch from afar, right, Doc?
Right?
To keep
That's the
safe.
best way to keep safe, of
Safe,
course.
yeah.
Enjoy the light show. I hope a lot of people, were safe last night. Although there were some reports of several injuries still during the countdown and leading towards the countdown. But overall, I think the injuries have been kept low compared to previous years.
Your New Year's fireworks good? Masaya?
Fireworks, I had to see it through my window, so I had to sleep in early tonight.
So ito
last
yung
night.
mga married that celebrated
Right. Tried to keep it a
quietly,
little-
and then the singles.
Quietly din na.
Oh, okay.
Ako, I witnessed a beautiful fireworks display at Okada, Manila. More on that later on.
Right.
So again, welcome to New Day only here on CNN Philippines. We have a lot of top stories, right?
Yes, and for today's top stories, Filipinos from all walks of life, as we've been mentioning, usher in the new year from street parties to concerts at the park. Now, we take a look at how citizens bid farewell to 2019 and rang in the new decade.
Unfortunately, in the middle of last night's revelry, some residents encountered a fiery year-end. Several areas caught fire in Metro Manila, and dozens suffered from firecrackers-related injuries in Manila alone.
And martial law in Mindanao has ended as the year 2019 came to a close. Officials did not recommend an extension for the martial rule, as security in the region has improved. Mindanao has been under martial rule for more than 2 years as a response to a terrorist attack in Marawi City in 2017.
And are you having a hard time fulfilling your New Year's resolutions? Well, maybe you've been making resolutions that are not so realistic. And today, an expert will give us advice on how to make doable and achievable promises for the new year. Like if you want to have abs, make sure that's doable.
Actually, most people are saying the resolutions nila for this year is fulfilling resolutions of the
From
past
last
years.
Yeah.
Tuloy-tuloy lang yan every year, no? Well, stick around until 7:30 for those stories and a whole lot more on this program. This is New Day here on CNN Philippines. Happy New Year.
A festive sight as the country rings in the new year. Filipinos took to the streets and kicked off 2020 with a bang. In Manila, thousands gathered at the Luneta Park for a free concert and the New Year's countdown. But amid the celebrations, Manila's local officials reminded people not to litter. Violators will face sanctions ranging from warning and reprimand on the first offense to a fine of not more than 5,000 pesos or imprisonment of up to 30 days on the fifth and succeeding offenses. Our very own Andre Felix got to welcome the new year in Okada, Manila. Later, he'll tell us more about that particular experience. Now, it was not at all a happy experience in hospitals in Manila. Authorities reporting 36 people suffered from firecracker-related injuries as they rang in the new year. Most cases were recorded at the Jose Reyes Memorial Medical Center with 20. Santa Ana Hospital reported 7 firecracker-related injuries. 4 cases recorded in Gat Andres Bonifacio Memorial Medical Center, 1 in Ospital ng Tondo, 3 in ang Ospital ng Sampaloc, and 1 in Ospital ng Maynila. These hospitals are all district hospitals in Manila. Now, fire hit several areas in Metro Manila on New Year's Eve. In Pasig, 1 died after a fire hit a commercial and residential area in Barangay San Antonio. Authorities declared the blaze under control a little past midnight. In Barangay Vazra, Quezon City, the fire reached Task Force Alpha, which meant about 24 fire trucks arrived to contain the blaze. Authorities declared the fire under control at around 1 a.m. Now, fire also broke out in Barangay San Rafael in Navotas City, Barangay 5 in Sangandaan, Caloocan City, and at Cuenca Street in Pasay City. Malacanang hoping for a better quality of life and an improved economy in 2020. In a statement, presidential spokesperson Salvador Panelo says, quote, "As we turn a new page in our history and face greater challenges and exciting prospects for a better Philippines, we resolve to help one another in building a nation living in comfort, in peace, and in progress." Panelo adds this is the dream of President Rodrigo Duterte. Vice President Leni Robredo echoes that sentiment. She says, quote, "Sa pagpasok ng bagong taon, patuloy nating itong pagsusumikapan sa ating pagbaba sa pinakamalalayo, pinakamaliliit, at pinakamahihirap na komunidad sa ating bansa," end of quote.
And we check out New Year celebrations across the globe. New Zealand was the first to welcome 2020. Capital Auckland hosted a fireworks show at the famous Sky Tower. And in the land down under, Australians rang in the new year with massive fireworks on Sydney Harbour's Bridge. Thousands flooded the streets of Seoul, South Korea to join the bell-tolling ceremony in Boshingak. The tradition marks the end of the year.
우리의 길은 인민을 믿고 수령님 열어주신 길
In North Korea, thousands of people also flocked to the capital, Pyongyang, to ring in the new year. Aside from the grand fireworks, a drone show also lit up the sky. Revelers also enjoyed performances. Revelers in Singapore were treated with a grand fireworks show at the Marina Bay Sands. welcomed 2020 with a massive pyrotechnics show. China welcomed 2020 with the opening ceremony of the Snow Cultural Tourism Festival. Revelers enjoyed a night of performances and fireworks.
动起来，动起来，动起来！新年快乐，新年快乐！
新年快乐 Happy New Year, best wishes
微笑的雪为大地开花。
But it was a different scene in Hong Kong. Officials canceled the fireworks display amid security concerns. It opted instead for a more subdued show involving lights and much smaller pyrotechnics. It's the latest in a series of events that have been canceled since pro-democracy protests erupted in Hong Kong 6 months ago.
And every year, Times Square in New York holds one of the world's biggest New Year's Eve parties. And thousands of people from around the world gather there. And this year is no different. CNN's Daryl Forges is in the middle of it all as the Big Apple prepares to say goodbye to 2019 and usher in 2020.
2020 is finally here. Well, if you're in places like Singapore or Australia.
Happy New Year!
Here in the Big Apple, excitement is building for the annual celebration.
I always watched it as a kid growing up with my family every New Year's. My first time coming, so yeah, it's great to be here.
All eyes will be on the historic New Year's Ball. This megasphere is composed of 2,688 Waterford crystal triangles. This year, 192 of those crystals are engraved with pineapples, symbolizing hospitality and goodwill.
This year's theme is the gift of goodwill. It's about taking pause for just a second and celebrating that goodness that's in every single situation.
Before the big countdown, there's a lot of preparation, including making sure everyone is safe.
Times Square is probably going to be the safest place on the planet Earth on New Year's Eve.
Law enforcement are not the only ones with their hands full. So are event organizers with the toughest work, like a confetti test. Yes, a confetti test. There was also a ball test earlier in the week, all to make sure everything goes off without a hitch for an event that brings families, friends, and even strangers from all over the world together.
We just wanted to see the ball drop here.
It's just a blessing, a true blessing.
In Times Square, New York, I'm Daryl Forges.
Good morning and Happy New Year. It's January 1, 2020. I have to get used to that. It's 6:13 right now. Let's take a look at the roads. And as expected, it is January 1, so not much vehicles. The roads are clear. On your screen right now are live pictures of EDSA. This is by Guadalupe. Now, the southbound stretch, as you take a look right now, that's headed to Ayala and Magallanes. And as you can see, traffic here is free-flowing, light traffic going south right now. You are still watching New Day here on CNN Philippines. Residents of Quezon City and Pasig encounter a fiery medianoche. And let's take a look at how local celebrities celebrated their new year. Details next. Stay with us only here on CNN Philippines. News you can trust. Good morning. Happy New Year.
This program is brought to you by...
Going for groceries? Need health and beauty products? Running to the pharmacy? What about finding all your must-have?
New decade. I am Andre Felix, and sitting in for Rita Nuat Cotrillo is David Santos.
Yes, my friend. Happy New Year.
My friend.
Kamusta? Wala ka pang tulog?
Wala. Oh, dire-diretso tayo.
Galing pa sa...
Okada, Manila.
Kagabi.
Oo, pero ano lang, after ng fireworks, taas pa ng adrenaline. Christine Jacobs-Andeas is also heard, as well as Dr. Freddy Gomez. Yan, mga wala din tulog.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everybody. It's nice that our friends have joined us on Facebook. They are awake wherever you are.
Oh, si Maria Elise Pascual Torremocha from Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Happy New Year sa inyo. Kamusta dyan? How's the New Year celebrations there? Meron din si Rema Hall, Roger Bryan from the UK. Coming up, David Santos.
Welcome back to New Day. Thousands of Filipinos gathering at the Luneta Park in Manila to welcome 2020. Now, our Paulo Barcelon, was there for the New Year countdown, and he filed this report.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pinoys from all walks of life gathered in the nation's capital to witness and celebrate the turn of the decade. At the Rizal Park, Manila Police District Station 5 says at least 12,000 people gathered to watch a free concert and New Year's countdown, compared to only about 9,000 people who came to celebrate New Year's Eve in 2018. Bands such as Join the Club and Hail performed for the crowd, while a spectacular 15-minute fireworks display welcomed the first few minutes of 2020, wowing the already hyped crowd. Among those who attended were Abubakar Buad and his family from Marawi City. He says he feels happy spending New Year's Eve in one of the country's most well-known parks.
First time lang po.
Kumusta naman ang experience dito?
Okay lang po.
Masaya ba kayo?
Oh, masaya. Sobrang masaya po.
Marlene Macapaga and her family shared a similar sentiment. They last went to Luneta 7 years ago. This year, she brought along her children, in-laws, nephews, and nieces, and spent their medianoche along with other families in the park.
Dahil masaya, walang putukan. Maganda kasi, masaya.
Libre pa, di ba?
Libre pa.
Street parties were also held in several places in Manila. This one in Barangay 181 Zone 16 in Tondo had people of all ages dancing to various tunes, which also included Santa Geronimo's hit that went viral.
Kailangan nga yung mga bata, amukin namin na sa street dance party para hindi na maglisaw sa daan.
Meanwhile, Manila's local government officials reminded people not to litter after the New Year's revelry. Manila Mayor Isko Moreno ordered the Manila Police District to arrest those caught violating the city's anti-littering ordinances in Luneta. The City Council recently passed Ordinance number 8572, which has a provision against littering in public places.
Kasi ayon sa Section 4 ng ordinance na ito, ay prohibited ang pag-iwan ng basura and other refuse sa ating mga gutter, sidewalk, streets, alleyways, roads, and other public places.
Violators will face sanctions ranging from warning and reprimand on the first offense to a fine of not more than 5,000 pesos or imprisonment of up to 30 days on the fifth and succeeding offenses. Paulo Barcelon, CNN Philippines.
Now, if you're already planning your vacations, here's the list of holidays for 2020. Now, there will be a total of 18 holidays, 9 regular and 9 special non-working days. Today, New Year's Day, is the first holiday of the year. But heads up, tomorrow, January 2nd, is already a regular working day. The next holiday won't be until January 25th. That's Chinese New Year, although that falls on a Saturday. Now, no holidays in March, but there will be 3 in April because of the Holy Week. Now, if you plot the holidays, you will also notice a number of extended weekends. There's one in May and in June because Labor Day and Independence Day both fall on a Friday. There's also 2 in August for Ninoy Aquino Day on August 21st, also a Friday, and National Heroes Day, August 31st, which is a Monday. Now, 2 long weekends as well. In November for the Undas, or the All Saints and All Souls Day break, and Bonifacio Day, November 30th, which is a Monday. December will have the most number of days as usual, with 5. The proclamation for the observance of Eid al-Fitr and Eid al-Adha will be issued after the dates of the Islamic holidays have been determined based on the Islamic calendar.
A check on the weather now. Expect some drizzles this first day of the year as the northeast monsoon and easterlies affect the country. Cagayan Valley, Apayao, Kalinga, Mountain Province, Ifugao, Aurora, and Northern Quezon will experience cloudy skies with scattered rains. Expect the same conditions in Ilocos and parts of the Cordillera regions. And here in Metro Manila and the rest of the country, well, we will experience cloudy skies with some rains because of the easterlies. Now, will it rain in your area in the next hour? Let's find out.
Let's check on the conditions here and across Asia from the CNN World Weather Center.
Good day, Philippines. I'm CNN meteorologist Jennifer Gray with your forecast, and a pretty quiet day across the Philippines, barely a cloud in the sky. This is from the last 12 hours. We're only going to see a little bit of rain over the next couple of days, mainly across extreme southern and northern sections of the Philippines. Elsewhere, though, pretty quiet, and these are going to be very light showers and just quickly passing by. So here we go. As far as temperatures go, we'll be around 31 degrees in Manila. We'll see some partly cloudy skies. You can see a couple of showers across central portions and extreme southern portions. Manila, pretty much right where we should be this time of year, should be at 31. That's where we'll be, 31 degrees, partly cloudy skies across the board. We do warm up just slightly by next Tuesday, but it's only minimal. Let's take a close look at Asia because we are going to see a couple of sea effect snow showers across portions of Japan on that west side. Pretty quiet, though, across much of China, Japan. We are going to see very cold temperatures across the northern tier, though. Single digits elsewhere. Tokyo at 9, Osaka at 9, Seoul right around 3 degrees. Shanghai, though, at 10 with partly cloudy skies. So the very, very cold air is going to try to work its way out, but then return once again by the time we get to the end of the weekend. Northern portions of Japan, very, very cold as well. So the temperature trend will stay that way. There's Tokyo, 9 degrees, should be 11 this time of year, so we'll warm up just a tad by the time we get into the beginning part of the weekend, and then there we go again, dropping right back down by Sunday, Monday into Tuesday, with temperatures dropping a little below normal. Have a good day.
That was CNN meteorologist Jennifer Gray from the CNN World Weather Center. If you just tuned in, expect some drizzle this first day of the year as the northeast monsoon and easterlies affect the country, so better bring your umbrella if you're planning to go out today.
Now, losing weight, quitting smoking, saving money. These are some of the most popular New Year's resolutions. But how do you make them stick? CNN's Mandy Gaither has some tips.
Every year starts out with the best intentions to become your best self. But according to a 2015 story from U.S. News and World Report, 80% of New Year's resolutions fail by the second week of February. The American Psychological Association says these 5 things can turn a struggle into a success. First, start small. Go after a realistic goal. For example, if more exercise is your resolution, begin with a few days a week instead of 7. Next, change one behavior at a time. Changing too much at once may be overwhelming. Talk about it. Make sure family and friends know your goals so they can help. Joining a group like a workout class or getting together with others who are quitting smoking can also help with resolution success. But if you have a slip, don't beat yourself up. Simply recover from the mistake and get back on track. Finally, seek support. Don't face the stress of reaching your goals alone. For today's Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
You're still watching New Day. Heads up, motorists. Fuel prices go up today as the third and final wave of excise tax increases takes effect. And Mariah Carey has set another record, according to Billboard. We tell you this after the break.
Lasing pa yata si Freddy Gomez eh. Lasing ka pa ba, pare? Naparami ang inumot. Paputok mo kagabi ah.
What a comeback, ano? Sorry.
Hold on. Well, so Andre, David, who's celebrating New Year's right now?
Okay.
Let's check.
By this time, dapat Greece and parts of Africa.
Okay.
Then by 7, Germany, Spain, and other parts of Europe.
Well, I know we have our Facebookers. Sonia Campos says he's from Brazil.
Okay.
And he will be celebrating New Year's in about 4 hours.
4 hours.
So, a lot of our friends also from other parts of US, so later pa sila. Pinakahuli yata yung Hawaii part, LA part.
Yeah, the western part of the US will be the last one to usher in 2020.
Si LC Tamada naman is greeting us a prosperous New Year. Tapos na rin kasi 1 hour ahead ng Japan. She's from Japan. So, January 1 na rin doon. Sa UK, anong oras na ba sa UK ngayon? Si Roger Bryan,
I think 8 o'clock to Manila time.
Okay.
Magta-12 na rin sa kanila.
So
sabi
New Year, guys.
ni Sandra Lai Davila, 30 minutes na lang 2020 na para sa kanya. So
where's she from?
Germany.
Sandra, where are you from, Sandra?
Germany. Yan, Germany.
She's from Germany.
New Day is back with more stories. Now, motorists set to pay more for fuel this new year. Starting today, January 1st, excise tax on gasoline and kerosene is up by 1 peso per liter. Tax on diesel, which is commonly used by public utility vehicles, will be up by 1 peso and 50 centavos per liter. The tax on liquefied petroleum gas used for cooking will also increase by 1 peso per kilogram. The first fuel price hike has taken effect today, and the second will be felt in about a month or 2. This is the third and final set of fuel excise tax hikes since 2018 under the tax reform law.
Good morning, time right now is 6:27. Back to the roads today, January 1, 2020. Let's take a look if there's any congestion on this part of the road. This is EDSA by Bonnie Avenue. And as you can see, yes, not much vehicles passing through as of this time. If you're headed to Shaw Boulevard, you can expect a fast drive. Just be careful if you're planning to go and take this route right now. For those taking the MRT, as of 6 a.m., there are 8 trains operating on all stations with train intervals of around 8 to 9 minutes.
And an extremely close call was caught on camera in Alaska. And you have to see it to believe it. Jeremy Roth has today's Take a Look at This.
Terrifying dashcam video from Alaska shows an incredible close call on a snowy road. An officer and tow truck driver were assisting a disabled vehicle on the Seward Highway. That's when an approaching vehicle lost control. No one was injured in the incident, but Anchorage police say the slightest change in any variable could have had tragic results. They shared the video on Facebook along with the not-so-subtle message, "It's winter, slow down." Speaking of close calls...
Boys, what did you do?
Not me.
They burnt the front yard.
A Christmas present landed a pair of Texas boys in hot water after it set their front lawn on fire. The Parsons got their 12-year-old son a magnifying glass for Christmas, assuming it would be used for reading. Instead, the boy and his brother used it to burn newspaper, and moments later they came running in to report the lawn was on fire. The whole family sprang into action using water hoses, sprinklers, and blankets to snuff the flames. Thankfully, no one was injured, and the boys weren't the only ones that learned a lesson.
Okay, this is Christmas with boys.
Boy, oh boy, you got that straight. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
Boys will be boys, I guess. This is New Day on CNN Philippines. Mindanao wakes up without a martial rule as it ended last night. And we look back at the biggest issues that rocked U.S. politics in 2019. Details after the break. Stay tuned here on New Day.
The recent surveys by Pulse Asia and Social Weather.
We're back on Facebook Live. 1 minute to go. We're taking a break right now, so we are live again. Let's greet more people Andre Felix, David Santos, Christine Jacob Sandejas, and
Yes.
Doc Freddy Gomez.
And we have Kyle Tria from North Africa, and that's 1 hour before New Year's. And Cara says 30 minutes in Norway before she welcomes 2020.
Mary Gladys Daiwan from Dubai saying Happy New Year
Happy
to
New
everyone.
Year.
Also from Clarina Millare, watching from Western Australia, mas nauna sila.
Mas nauna. Okay.
Ours before the Philippines.
Oh, yeah. Isa sila sa mga nauna nag-welcome ng New Year, no? Ang Australia.
Pero medyo mahirap lang sa Australia ngayon because of the bushfires and so medyo challenging ang kanilang New Year.
Si Ralph Emmanuel Brown Ferrolino is watching from Washington, D.C. Mamaya pa yan.
Good morning and welcome back. I'm David Santos. If you're just joining us, here's our top stories. A festive sight as the country rings in the new year. Filipinos took to the streets and kicked off 2020 with a bang. In Manila, thousands gathered at the Luneta Park for a free concert and the New Year's countdown. But amid the celebrations, Manila's local officials reminded people not to litter. Violators will face sanctions ranging from warning and reprimand on the first offense to a fine of not more than 5,000 pesos or imprisonment of up to 30 days on the fifth and succeeding offenses. 36 people suffered from firecracker-related injuries in Manila. Most cases were recorded at the Jose Reyes Memorial Medical Center with 20. Meantime, fires hit several areas in Metro Manila on New Year's Eve in Barangay Basra, Quezon City. The fire reached Task Force Alpha, which meant about 24 fire trucks came to contain the blaze. In Pasig, one died after a fire hit a commercial and residential area in Barangay San Antonio. Fires also broke out in Barangay San Rafael in Navotas City, Barangay 5 in Sangandaan, Caloocan City, and at Cuenca Street in Pasay City. Now, as 2019 has come to an end, so does martial rule in Mindanao. At 12 midnight, Mindanao is no longer under martial law. Presidential spokesperson Salvador Panelo earlier said security officials did not recommend extending martial rule because of improving peace and order in the South. Malacanang said it remains confident government forces will be able to maintain peace and security even without martial law. Mindanao has been under martial rule for more than 2 years. It was declared in response to a terrorist attack in Marawi City in 2017 and was extended twice upon President Rodrigo Duterte's requests. Malacanang slams the call of U.S. Senators Patrick Leahy and Richard Durbin for the Philippine government to release detained Senator Laila de Lima. In a statement, presidential spokesperson Salvador Panelo says their call is, quote, a brazen interference into our sovereignty. Panelo maintains de Lima is given a fair, speedy, and credible trial. Panelo also comments on the U.S. Senator's remark on President Duterte's threat to deny Philippine visa to Americans. He says imposing a visa to foreign nationals prior to entry into the Philippines is an exercise of a sovereign right. Now, Senator Laila de Lima calls the support of U.S. Senators Leahy and Durbin as a vindication. She says these U.S. public officials would not be standing with her if they had any doubt about her innocence.
As the world welcomes the new year in Australia, authorities are battling deadly wildfires, the blazes threatening both humans and animals, and the scorching temperatures and arid conditions aren't helping. CNN's Reid Binion reports.
High temperatures and fierce winds are feeding wildfires, tearing a path of devastation across parts of Australia. The smoke and haze blackening the skies and blotting out the sun, making dawn look like midnight and mid-morning simply apocalyptic. In addition to civilian fatalities, yet another volunteer firefighter has been confirmed dead. The fire is also taking a destructive toll on wildlife. Kangaroos seen running by the dozens through an open field fleeing the flames and smoke. Other animals, parched by the heat and flames, relying on the kindness of human passers-by for water. Elsewhere, ashes and charred debris are washing up on beaches. Roughly 4,000 people trapped on a beach after an entire town was evacuated as flames closed in. The New Year's Eve fireworks display in Sydney Harbor, an enormously popular event in years past, nearly got called off this year due to the fires. But officials opted to move forward with the display after weighing several factors.
Obviously, this is not a new thing. New Year's Eve and other events coincide with bad fire weather and total fire bans, and we do have provisions to provide exemptions for firework activities right across New South Wales.
I'm Reed Binion reporting.
Chinese President Xi Jinping rang in the new year with a message to his people, highlighting the ongoing unrest in Hong Kong. In a video message, Mr. Xi said Hong Kong's recent upheaval was concerning and that the people of our motherland expected stability there. But protesters have vowed to continue their efforts to push for greater democratic freedoms and police accountability. In his message, President Xi also reviewed the accomplishments of his government over the last year and wished his people all the best in the new year. An impeachment scandal rivaling those of U.S. Presidents Richard Nixon and Bill Clinton, national emergencies, political mudslinging, and power struggles. CNN's Nadia Romero has a look back at 2019's most impactful political stories in the United States.
Well, I don't feel like I'm being impeached because it's a hoax. It's a setup.
President Trump became the third president in history to be impeached by the House.
Article 1 is adopted.
The president is now facing trial in the Senate on 2 articles of impeachment, one for abuse of power, the other for obstruction of Congress. The House vote came after House Intelligence Committee investigation led to the delivery of an explosive report stating the president placed his own personal and political interests above the national interests of the United States. The report came after public and private testimonies from key witnesses, sparked by an anonymous whistleblower who reported misconduct on a phone call between President Trump and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, alleging the White House withheld aid in an effort to pressure Zelensky to help Trump with the 2020 election by making a public announcement that they would launch an investigation into Ukrainian energy company Burisma and their dealings with Joe Biden's son.
This was an illegal witch hunt, and everybody knew it.
President Trump lashed out against the Mueller probe into alleged Russian collusion involving the Trump campaign, a scandal that haunted his presidency from the very beginning. After nearly 2 years of investigations, Mueller released his findings, concluding the Trump campaign believed it would benefit from the actions of the Russian government, but there was no evidence of collusion.
I pledge that this Congress will be transparent, bipartisan, and unifying.
Democrats regained control of the House, allowing Nancy Pelosi to regain her power as House Speaker, making her the first woman to ever hold the job twice and the first person in 6 decades to regain the post.
But he's sticking to the wall.
The battle over President Trump's border wall kept the U.S. in the longest government shutdown in history, spawning chaos in America's airports and national parks.
Paychecks are stopped.
And causing torment for government workers who depended on a regular paycheck. President Trump eventually signed a bill to end the shutdown, which didn't have funding for the wall.
We have a crisis at the border.
Thousands of immigrant children separated from their parents and taken into custody after President Trump declared a national emergency at the line between 2 countries, allowing him funds to start work on his proposed border wall, sparking backlash from many states and Congress, and in October, a federal judge who ruled the move unlawful. The deaths of some immigrants while in ICE custody or shortly following their release prompted widespread concern about conditions in the facilities. An Inspector General's report from the Department of Homeland Security found immediate risk to the health and safety of some of the migrants.
How many Americans must die in the Middle East?
President Trump shocked the world when he suddenly announced the U.S. would be withdrawing its forces from Syria, sparking backlash from top military officials and politicians on both sides of the political aisle. Many condemned the move, saying America was turning its back on its longtime allies, the Kurds, and leaving them to die as Turkish forces invaded. President Trump has signaled his intention to withdraw months before, claiming victory over ISIS.
We own our own bodies.
Women dressed as handmaids took to the streets all across America in protest to controversial abortion bans that were passed in several states, Alabama passing the strictest of them all. It considers abortion a felony and could land a doctor behind bars for up to 99 years for performing one. The law has been temporarily blocked by a federal court. And political legend Elijah Cummings passed away at the age of 68. Former presidents and top lawmakers packed into a Baltimore church to pay their final respects. I'm Nadia Romero with the most impactful political stories of 2019.
Did you drink a little too much during your Medianoche or New Year's Eve feast? Well, CNN's Jeremy Roth tells us what you can do to get over that New Year hangover.
Do you tend to wake up on January 1st with a bit of a headache and the spins? Do you feel the need to reach for a gallon of water? Chances are you're suffering from a hangover. Your kidneys and liver are working overtime to process all the alcohol, which is throwing your metabolism and inflammatory reaction off. While there is no actual cure, here are a few tips and tricks that may help you get back to normal. The first are a few old wives' tales that some people swear by: chugging electrolyte-filled sports drinks and or coffee, eating greasy or carbohydrate-rich foods, and one myth that says you should drink alcohol to help you get over the alcohol. Or you could go the medicinal route. A study done with rats showed dihydromyricetin reduced the withdrawal signs and counteracted alcohol intoxication. This Chinese herbal medicine is often marketed as a hangover cure. Some people swear by taking over-the-counter pain relievers before going to bed to help minimize the effects the next day, but doctors say mixing alcohol and acetaminophen can be harmful to your liver. Remember, the only real cure is to not overindulge in the first place. So if you want to avoid the situation altogether, monitor your alcohol intake and drink plenty of water. For today's Health Minute, I'm Jeremy Roth.
We have more stories here on New Day. We talk to an expert on what resolutions are realistic and how to achieve them this new year. New Day returns after these messages. Please stay tuned.
So can we actually afford to go at a faster pace?
Our analysis shows that we can.
What can Filipinos expect this year's?
Dita?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay. King of the past. Checklist and shopping list aren't the only list people make during the holiday season. With the new year comes the resolutions. Now, how does one make a list of resolutions and actually fulfill it? Joining us this morning to explain the psychology behind New Year's resolutions is psychologist Dr. Camille Garcia. Good morning so much. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year,
Thank you for celebrating the first day of the year with us on this important topic. A lot of people are asking, uso pa ba yung New Year's resolution? Do people still do it?
Okay. Basically, when you say New Year's resolution, from grade 1 up to college, everybody is telling, what is your New Year's resolution? So parang it's a practice already that you have to make a list. But then the trouble is, you make a list but do not make an action plan. So that makes the New Year's resolution fail.
Okay.
So definitely what we have to do is to make a lot of lists, hindi lang isa.
Why is it important to actually even have a New Year's resolution?
For reasons that we wanted to change a certain behavior. When we talk of a change, we mean not only making a list that I will no longer go shopping or something like that. It's more of changing a certain behavior. But when you make a list, you're not supposed to make just one list. You're supposed to make a lot of lists for reasons na, syempre, it's marami. So the tendency is, meron kang mafulfill kahit pa paano.
Okay, so you mentioned earlier, okay, so important to actually make a list. Now, with this list, you also mentioned, kailangan may plan of action. You just can't make a list and then, okay, bahala na.
It's difficult. Right? Like, for instance, I said, I would like to travel. How can you travel if you don't have a passport? Parang you should make an action plan na, okay, I will get a passport by this time or I will renew my passport. Parang ganito.
Or I have to save up money so I can go.
Ganon. Parang if you have an action plan, then definitely mafulfill yung resolution.
Okay,
na
so
yun.
it's basically setting goals that you want to achieve, and in each of that, must you post it anywhere? Must it be known to other people, or can it just be entirely for yourself?
First, ngayon kasi it's no longer parang New Year's resolution. It's more of life goals. Parang year-end life goals or kaya yung 2020 life goals. Parang it's better na you make parang illustration board and then lalagay mo lahat doon. Share it with friends for reasons that they can check on you if, meron ka na bang na-fulfill doon sa life goals mo na by February, ganito, by March, ganun. Kasi if you're not going to share it, the tendency is parang merong possibility na procrastinating, na siguro, will diet na lang by February kasi I'm going to celebrate ganito, ganyan-ganyan. Tapos, meron na namang February pala, ganito.
I think maybe like if you do share it with other people, di ba? Parang may accountability. Kasi sinabi mo, tapos somebody can actually look at you. Ginawa mo na ba to?
Totoo yun. And then at the same time, it's so difficult when you say na, kasi yun yung parang naging natin, Filipino behavior na parang bahala na nga si Batman kung matutuloy o hindi.
Okay, so with that, what are the most common ones?
Okay.
And maybe with that, maybe you can also help us. How can we start? Where's the best place to start? I'm sure there's a lot of things that we want to change about ourselves, but where should we focus on?
Okay, first, everybody will say, I will exercise starting, ganito. And then I will try my best to lose weight, quit smoking, and then possibility no longer drink alcohol. But the thing is, how can you change those behavior if you have low self-efficacy? Because when you don't have that yung self-efficacy, parang the tendency, hindi. I might quit kaagad. So the tendency, those resolutions, parang magfe-fail talaga siya, epic failure siya. So what is the best thing to do? First, when you say exercise, parang go on a slow start. Parang once a week, pwedeng, I don't have money to go to the gym, so what can I do? So definitely, merong action plan. Then do the body system. First, parang if you have friends na you wanted na to join you, go walking or jogging, then that's it. And then next, if you really want to live long, yun yung healthy options. Don't say na, I want to go on an exercise parang ganitong activity for reasons na I might meet somebody and then I might be into a social relationship. Hindi ganon eh. It's best na I want to do this because it's for myself. I wanted to live long. The problem is, what if you do not like na magkaroon talaga ng opportunity to do what is best for yourself? Change starts from you, not yung other people saying, huy, mag-ayos ka nga. No, that's not supposed to be the reason. The reason should be, the change should come from you.
So these New Year's resolutions is my list. So this is what I need to do for myself to make me a better person, or some of the things that I did do in 2019, gagawin ko ngayon.
Yes, and at the same time, remember, Christine, when you do a certain resolution, or to make it a habit, it should be done 30 days, continues to 45 days. Because when you do it 30 to 45 days, the tendency, it becomes a habit. And once it becomes a habit for the next 6 months, parang kasama na yun sa routine. Hindi mo na siya mapapalitan.
How do I make my resolutions a little bit more maybe realistic?
Okay, when you say that you wanted your goals to be realistic, it's something that you think you can do. It's more on your strengths. Do not go on your weaknesses.
But shouldn't I improve on my weaknesses?
No, when you say that you wanted to improve on your weaknesses, you have to do more or less to strengthen those strengths. Like for instance, I do not have self-control. So it's so difficult. So I have limited self-control, pero I want to enhance it. So once I have good self-control or high self-control, the tendency, all those weaknesses, malilimitahan na siya. Mas magkakaroon ng strength na, kaya ko na to.
And briefly, before I let you go, what happens if I fail? Because a lot of us, as we said earlier in one of the packages that we aired, by mid-February, parang we forgot that we even had a list to begin with.
Okay, when you say that there's a possibility that you should fail, kaya nga mas maganda, you have more lists. Because if you have more or less, like, instead na parang, I'll just go exercise and quit smoking, dalawa lang, parang, oh, definitely hindi kakayanin. So kung marami siya, I will do this, then 10. So 10 days, at least may 2 na correct. So meron kang 20% na nagawa, and that's already something.
And I guess even if you don't, if you fail, you can always start again.
Yes, and then remember, it's about not you necessarily fulfilling the list. It's more of improving yourself and changing that possible negative behavior.
That's right. Well, thank you so much for spending your first day of 2020 with us here in New Day.
Because I don't want to have apathy.
There you go, there you go. Maraming salamat, Camille Garcia, for being with us today. And we have more stories for you. Now, will the government employees finally receive a salary hike? And what charms will bring luck this year, we tell you when we return. Do stay with us here on CNN Philippines.
Thanks for staying with New Day here on CNN Philippines. The implementation of the Universal Healthcare Program begins today. The Health Department earlier said it needed about 257 billion pesos to shift to a primary healthcare system. The new healthcare system would assign every Filipino to a primary care provider or a health worker who shall be his or her first point of contact. Primary care providers will deliver free essential health services and will guide patients through the different healthcare facilities. Under the law, there is a no balance billing policy which allows the vulnerable sectors to get free medical services while confined in public hospitals. President Rodrigo Duterte yet to sign a bill that seeks to provide salary increase to government workers. Both houses of Congress approved the bill in December after the president certified it as urgent. It is now up to the president whether to approve the bill, veto it, or remove some provisions. The proposed fifth tranche of the Salary Standardization Law, or SSL 5, will be implemented in 4 tranches from 2020 to 2023.
It's a new year, and this means a fresh start for everybody. And for some, they want to start it with the help of Lucky Charms. In this report, Cian Arcangel tells us which charms will bring luck this 2020.
The shop of feng shui expert Johnson Chua in Binondo was packed with customers on the last day of 2019, even though Chinese New Year is on January 25th. All of them wanted to know what they should do to make 2020 a lucky year. Elsewhere in Binondo, customers shop for lucky charms to hang on their doors or walls. Chua says 2020 is a good year for both businesses and romantic relationships.
Marami pong opportunity in terms of business luck or career luck. So this is a good year for startup. Napakalakas po ang love luck energy natin. So sa mga singles po dyan, malaki po ang chance niyo makahanap po ng right one, the right partner.
Figurines shaped like rats are selling fast in Binondo since 2020 is the year of the metal rat under the Chinese zodiac. Aside from displaying rat images, Chua suggests having a prosperity basket filled with lucky charms and coins to attract good luck. Red, blue, and yellow are this year's lucky colors. But while 2020 brings a lot of opportunities, Chua says it's also a challenging year.
It will be a very competitive year, so dapat po siguraduhin lang po natin na wag lang po tayo masyado pabugso-bugso sa ating mga desisyon. Mag-ingat po tayo sa 2020 sa mga mga manloloko, magnanakaw, conflicts.
Shoppers in Binondo and nearby Divisoria say there's nothing wrong with buying Lucky Charms or observing traditions such as putting 12 round fruits on the table on New Year's Day.
Wala namang masama kasi maniwala, pero alam mo yun, parang guide lang naman din sila.
Kompleto ko yung dosing prutas para swerte.
But more than buying Lucky Charms, Chua says prayers and hard work are important to achieving success in 2020. Cian Arcangel, CNN, Philippines.
Pop icon Mariah Carey adds another feather in her cap. She has been atop Billboard's Hot 100 chart at least once every decade for the past 40 years. That makes her the first artist to have at least one #1 hit in 4 consecutive decades. Her song, All I Want for Christmas Is You, just spent its 3rd week at #1, and since the most recently released chart is dated January 4th, 2020, it means she already has a chart topper in the next decade. Carey has had #1 hits in the 90s, the 2000s, the 10s, and now the 20s. All I Want for Christmas Is You was originally released in 1994. It is Carey's 19th #1 song.
And if you are a member of the MTV generation back when music videos were its core programming, you might just get up and dance to this next story. CNN's Rick Damigella has the latest from Tinseltown in today's Hollywood Minute.
Music video news, Aha in 4K. Rhino Records announces the music video for the Norwegian new wave band's signature song Take On Me has been remastered in 4K resolution from the original 35mm film. The video for the song combines live action and rotoscoping animation, winning 6 MTV Video Awards and is fast approaching 1 billion views on YouTube.
Right, well that's not going to work, is it? That's what I say to you.
Variety says the big screen adaptation of Andrew Lloyd Webber's musical Cats could be facing a $100 million loss. The industry paper reports the movie cost $100 million to produce and another $95 to $100 million to market. Box Office Mojo says so far, Cats has only made $38.4 million at the worldwide box office.
The challenge was to show him as a real person.
Award season news, it's an honor for Eddie. The Critics' Choice Association will give Eddie Murphy its Lifetime Achievement Award at the upcoming 25th Annual Critics' Choice Awards taking place on January 12th. Murphy is also nominated for the Best Actor Award for his performance in the Netflix movie Dolomite Is My Name. In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
This is a new day on CNN Philippines. When we come back, we bring you live pictures from France as they usher in the new year. We'll be back after a quick break. Please stay with us.
Would you go for higher office? South Korea firing hundreds of warning shots. Do you realize that proposal of yours is patently unconstitutional? 5.7 magnitude earthquake jolts parts of Luzon. Thousands of protesters once again occupying the gateway. Let's get the latest from CNN international correspondent Paul Hancock. This is Newsnight, where we go above and beyond the headlines. I'm Pion Taveras.
Mga balita at impormasyon sa daan, aming ihahatid ng walang patid. Meron ka bang tanong o reklamo? Tutugunan natin yan. Ako si Ruth Cabal. Araw-araw makakasama natin ang mga eksperto para himayin ang mga isyong malapit sa puso ng ating mga commuter at motorista. Sakay na, Lunes hanggang Biyernes, 5:30 ng hapon, Busina Balita sa CNN Philippines.
Año Nuevo.
Yun.
O, sa French naman. Bon année. Bon année. Happy New Year.
Bon
année! Bon année!
In German naman, in German.
In
German eh, malapit eh.
Invento.
Help me here. How do you say Happy New Year in... I love it.
Wow!
We were just watching live pictures from France, no, as they usher in the New Year. That was in the iconic Champs-Élysées.
Yes.
Let me say that right.
Live pictures right now, yes, in Champs-Élysées. And yeah, you said here, they're watching in Paris, France. Happy New Year. Bonne année to everybody there.
And it's nice that we're able to celebrate the New Year's with them.
Yeah.
Like here, watching them, you know, in the Philippines and all over the world. I think we're just so much more global now that we can actually, you know, celebrate the New Year's with
That's
everyone.
right,
And
that's right.
a lot of kababayans are also abroad. So some are in Germany also, and Spain, who are also celebrating the New Year at this time.
Yeah, Happy New Year to those Filipinos in Germany and in Spain. And the Philippines is one of the first to celebrate New Year, so it's nice to see all these other
Look at the
countries
lights,
follow.
you know?
Yeah. Bonne année to everybody. Look at that, beautiful in Paris, France, as they welcome in 2020, say goodbye to 2019. And you mentioned Germany also, so to all our friends on Facebook Live also watching from Germany, we have a couple of friends from Germany watching. We say,
How is it?
Okay,
Who's Narcier?
and of course, here in the Philippines, we are already 7 hours into the new year, and we'd like to welcome all of you back to New Day.
I'm David Santos, sitting in for Ria Tanwat Cotrillo.
Good morning again. It's exactly 7:02 here in Manila in the Philippines. I'm Andre Felix.
Happy New Year, everyone. This is New Day, where the news comes first. I am Christine Jacob Sandejas.
And I'm Dr. Freddy Gomez. So Happy New Year to all those who are just waking up right now.
Well, it's the first day of
Yes.
2020, and Filipinos rang in the New Year with a bang. Andre, you actually got to spend New Year's Eve at Okada, Manila. Tell
right.
us about this
Wala
experience.
pang tulog.
Wala pang tulog. Straight from Okada, Manila. Earlier, we were watching a great fireworks display in Paris, France. Also, a beautiful fireworks display at the fountain area where we ushered in the new year. Me and Pauline Verzosa were there. We went around Okada, Manila, where a lot of festivities ongoing. As we take a look at what happened at Okada, Manila, that's a beautiful fountain, the beam light fountain show, as they call it. And also, and then when the clock struck 12, that's when they launched all their fireworks at the fountain area. CeeLo Green, American singer, songwriter, rapper, Grammy-winning performer. He performed at the Cove, Manila, along with other DJs from different parts of the world. And also at the Grand Ballroom, Angeline Quinto, Eric Santos, a lot of singers performed there as well. Bugoy Drilon performed, Michael Pangilinan, a lot. There were a lot of things going on at Okada, Manila. You wouldn't get bored. So a lot of families trooped there. There are over thousands and thousands of people who welcomed in the new year. There was also a parade, as we take a look, a beautiful parade that they did for the first time, because this is my third time celebrating the new year in Okada, Manila. This is the first time they're doing a parade at the Crystal Corridor. Pauline Verzosa was there. She did a report on this, where there were some stilt walkers, there were some foreigners also with different kinds of shows from showcasing how different parts of the world would celebrate the new year. And also, they have a promo to everybody to thank everyone for a great year, 2019 in Okada, Manila. Let's listen to this.
2019 has been extremely successful for Okada Manila, and we have had a fantastic occupancy and many guests visiting the property. We are aware that not many guests were able to book Okada Manila. We were fully booked over the holiday seasons. Therefore, we would like to extend our gift of appreciation to the people in the Philippines, and we'll be starting January and February. We'll have a very special promotion on our rooms and suites. It's named Happy 2020, very simple, and the offerings of this promotion is very, very unique. The prices of the rooms, the room rates, and the inclusions are fantastic. So please go ahead and check it out on www.okadamanila.com.
Ivailo Ivanov there, the Senior Vice President of Okada Manila. thankful and grateful to everybody for making a great year in Okada, Manila. Again, we're still seeing these pictures happened last night before they ushered in the New Year 2020. It was at the Crystal Corridor. There was the parade. There were performers. It was just an amazing night.
But I can also imagine the energy of the performers having to perform on New Year's Eve. Diba? Parang, I guess you level up a little bit
That's
more.
right, especially the build-up towards the actual, the 12 midnight when it strikes 12 midnight.
And when they see a lot of people, ang dami kasi, taking pictures, taking videos. So yung mga performers, kita mo, naka-full smile, energy sila. It was just an amazing.
Okada must have been packed.
It was packed,
It
David.
was missing you, David.
I was.
David was here. David was here. Ito naman, they also had that Instagram lane, by the way, where people can go there and take pictures, IG photos. May iba-ibang, as we take a look. And for the holidays nila yan in Okada, Manila. So all in all, a lot of people from different parts of the world visited Okada, Manila. Pauline Verzosa and I were there to usher in the New Year 2020. It was a great event.
Seems
all in
like
all.
it, Andre.
Next year, dapat nandun ka, Christine.
Okay, next year, all
Something
of us
to look
are
forward
going
to.
Family, David.
Sana makapag-New Year. Well, anyway, it was a festive sight, no? Hindi lang sa Okada, but all over the country as many Filipinos took to the streets and kicked off 2020 with a bang. Our Paulo Barcelon was in Manila for the New Year countdown, and he tells us how thousands of people marked the occasion.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pinoys from all walks of life gathered in the nation's capital to witness and celebrate the turn of the decade. At the Rizal Park, Manila Police District Station 5 says at least 12,000 people gathered to watch a free concert and New Year's countdown, compared to only about 9,000 people who came to celebrate New Year's Eve in 2018. Bands such as Join the Club and Hail performed for the crowd, while a spectacular 15-minute fireworks display welcomed the first few minutes of 2020, wowing the already hyped crowd. Among those who attended were Abu Bakar Buad and his family from Marawi City. He says he feels happy spending New Year's Eve in one of the country's most well-known parks.
First time lang po.
Kumusta naman ang experience dito?
Okay lang po.
Masaya ba kayo?
Oo, masaya. Sobrang masaya po.
Marlene Macapaga and her family shared a similar sentiment. They last went to Luneta 7 years ago. This year, she brought along her children, in-laws, nephews, and nieces, and spent their medianoche along with other families in the park.
Dahil masaya, walang putukan. Maganda kasi, masaya. Libre pa, di ba? Libre pa.
Street parties were also held in several places in Manila. This one in Barangay 181 Zone 16 in Tondo had people of all ages dancing to various tunes, which also included Sara Geronimo's hit that went viral.
Kailangan nga yung mga bata, amukin namin na sa street dance party para hindi na maglisaw sa daan.
Manila's local government officials reminded people not to litter after the New Year's revelry. Manila Mayor Isko Moreno ordered the Manila Police District to arrest those caught violating the city's anti-littering ordinances in Luneta. The City Council recently passed Ordinance number 8572, which has a provision against littering in public places.
Kasi ayon sa Section 4 ng ordinance na ito, ay prohibited ang pag-iwan ng basura and other refuse sa ating mga gutter, sidewalk, streets, alleyways, roads, and other public places.
Violators will face sanctions ranging from warning and reprimand on the first offense to a fine of not more than 5,000 pesos or imprisonment of up to 30 days on the fifth and succeeding offenses. Paulo Barcelon, CNN Philippines.
And we check out New Year celebrations across the globe. New Zealand was the first to welcome 2020. Capital Auckland hosted a fireworks show at the famous Sky Tower. In the land down under, Australians rang in the new year with massive fireworks on Sydney's Harbour Bridge. And thousands Thousands flooded the streets of Seoul, South Korea to join the bell-tolling ceremony in Boshingak. The tradition marks the end of the year. In North Korea, thousands of people also flocked to the capital, Pyongyang, to ring in the new year. Aside from the grand fireworks, a drone show also lit up the sky. Revelers enjoyed the performances. In Singapore, revelers were treated with a grand fireworks show at the Marina Bay Sands. Thailand also welcomed 2020 with a massive pyrotechnic show. China welcomed 2020 with the opening ceremony of the Snow Cultural Tourism Festival. Revelers enjoyed a night of performances and fireworks. In the United Arab Emirates, the world's tallest building, Burj Khalifa, wowed revelers with a lights show. Different images flashed on the building, followed by a spectacular pyrotechnic show. And just a few moments ago, France welcomed 2020 with a colorful fireworks show at the famous Arc de Triomphe. You're watching New Day. Coming up, not so good news for motorists. This new year, fuel prices are going up, and we tell you why. Keep it here on CNN Philippines.
So can we actually afford to go at a faster pace?
Our analysis shows that we can.
What can Filipinos expect this year's 2019 budget?
We'll spend more for education, health, and social welfare.
As you know, we've had a strong growth in the first quarter of this year.
I'm Michael Imoron, and this is Business Roundup, where we make business your business.
talk about the crisis in democracy, not just in the United States, but also around the world. Do you think there should be more commitment to a clean environment?
I'd make every public school in the United States a competent, well-functioning institution.
Do you countenance those words that the president uses?
People want to know what you care about, what your values are, and what kind of job you can do for them.
My strong view is everybody should be treated with dignity and respect.
Why did you decide to tell this story now?
They're not doing anything criminal. I think people should be allowed to be who they are.
Welcome back to New Day. The Philippine government condemns the killing of another overseas Filipino worker in Kuwait. The Labor Department identified the victim as Jenaline Padernal Villavende. The Foreign Affairs Department said Villavende was killed by the wife of her employer. Authorities are yet to release more details on the killing. Now, both agencies said they are closely coordinating with Kuwaiti officials to bring the perpetrators to justice. Labor group Trade Union Congress of the Philippines also condemned the killing. It said it is obvious that the agreement signed by the Philippine and Kuwaiti governments in 2018 is not working. The deal seeks to promote and protect the welfare of OFWs in Kuwait following the brutal killing of OFW Joanna Demafelis. Motorists are paying more for fuel this new year. Starting today, January 1st, excise tax on gasoline and kerosene is up by 1 peso per liter. Tax on diesel, which is commonly used by public utility vehicles, will be up by 1 peso and 50 centavos per liter. The tax on liquefied petroleum gas used for cooking will also increase by 1 peso per kilogram. The first fuel price hike has taken effect today, and the second will be felt in about a month or two. This is the third and final set of fuel excise tax hikes since 2018 under the tax reform law.
And we all know holiday parties are not over yet, Doc. And we must remember what must we remember to actually avoid overeating and intoxication?
Right. We should have thought about that before the countdown, actually doing that. But one of the reasons, or a lot of Filipinos are probably waking up to, is that nasty thing called a hangover. They feel like their head is about to explode. They have a massive headache. Their body doesn't feel right, and a lot of people try to do several things. Now, there isn't one magic remedy for every hangover out there, so people are different, just as some of the symptoms that they may feel are different. But one thing, Christine, that they should know is the reason why they feel that way after a night of revelry and partying and eating too much or drinking too much is, first and foremost, is the dehydration that people feel because of the alcohol. They feel that headache because of dehydration, and they might feel an upset stomach as well. That's mainly from the irritation as well from the alcohol. So I guess one thing is what should they do?
Yeah, like some people try to, they do want to party because it is, the last day of the year and they're with friends. Right. And then they try, maybe if I eat a little bit more, that might, give me a little bit more leeway to have another glass. That's right. Or they for them to drink a little bit more, they eat some as well. So they don't notice. They don't notice that they're overdoing it. But hindsight is always 2020. Now, there you go. There you go, and the year as well, 2020. So what should they do now that they feel that way? So they wake up. They're waking up to us right now, and they're feeling this way. So what do you suggest? Shot water or?
That's one thing. The idea is to rehydrate, to keep, not just to rehydrate, but to replenish the electrolytes that are lost in our body. So water is good, but sometimes plain water isn't enough. So ideally, they want to drink something that will replenish the electrolytes. The most common thing that people might do is grab that sports drink that has electrolytes. But I would suggest to use a sports drink that has little or probably no sugar in it at all.
Okay, and not only that, as we said, today is January 1, and the celebration is not over. A lot of people are still gonna, spend time with family. So how do I, try to control myself. I have made this resolution to behave, but then I'm going to meet friends.
Right,
How do I stop myself from overeating?
Ideally, like what was discussed earlier, you should have a plan. So if you want to stick to your resolution, if you want to be healthier or you want to be more active, you must have a plan and trying to stick to that plan as good as you can. So one thing that was suggested was to talk about it. If you talk about it, a lot of people will know about your plan. So probably they would think about it, less temptation of you trying to eat a little bit more. Or if other people are aware of your New Year's resolution, they might be able to help you as well along the way.
Okay, now what is the one thing, Doc, that we must remember when it comes to drinking?
So I assume this would be drinking alcohol,
Yes.
alcoholic beverages. So as always, you hear it all the time, but moderation is key. Moderation.
But how does the alcohol really affect our body? I mean, I know before we went on break, I mean, over the holidays, you said actually it's best to not even have any alcohol.
That's true, because studies have shown that alcohol and the byproduct of this, which is aldehyde, creates a lot of free radicals in our body. So aside from the technical side of it, one of the things that people will feel of this is that alcohol is a strong diuretic, meaning it'll make you urinate a lot. It'll make you replenish a lot of those electrolytes from your body. So that is some of the effects that the people feel the next day. They might not feel it while they're drinking, but because of the alcohol and its sugars will perk people up. But it's the dehydration and the irritation in the stomach that causes those symptoms.
And with that, okay, so they did have a night out, and then the next day they said, okay, today I am gonna, I'm gonna sweat it out. I'm gonna go to the gym. How is that good? Should I do that?
That is something I hear that a lot as well, but that is something that people should avoid. You have to understand your body was put to the limit the night before.
Put to the test.
Put to the test. Put to the test. If you'd like to say that, yes. And since your body is dehydrated, you doing some exercise, running on that treadmill, trying to sweat things out, will just push your body or put your body to the test even further. So give your heart some much needed rest. Replenish first those electrolytes into your body. Once you're well hydrated, then you could probably start out lightly with a few exercise routines just to get that body's metabolism back into shape.
Okay, you mean I just can't get in the gym and lose all the 5 pounds that I gained?
No. I highly advise against that.
Do it slowly.
Yes,
do it
yes,
slowly.
do it
Thanks so
slowly.
much for all of those wonderful insights. I'm glad I have you on the show because we always need you here. And you're watching New Day on CNN Philippines. We will be right back. Happy New Year, everyone.
The recent surveys by Pulse Asia and social weather stations show more than 90% of Filipinos are full of hope for 2020. They remain optimistic despite the series of calamities, rise in consumer prices, and other challenges they faced in 2019. We go on the record, only here on CNN Philippines.
The kings of the PBA Philippine Cup are here.
The Lady Eagles hold off the UST Golden Tigresses.
Toronto Raptors have won their first NBA title.
Everyone can score. Defense is the key.
Believing in your coaching staff, that wins.
Yung winning attitude hindi nawawala.
You have the heart, the commitment.
Pinag-aaralan mo yung bawat makakalaban mo.
Get your daily sports fix. I'm Andre Felix.
I'm Charles Stew, and this is Sports Desk.
Local celebrities took to social media to greet their fans a Happy New Year. Actress Catherine Bernardo welcomed the New Year with her boyfriend, Daniel Padilla. In Instagram, Catherine shares this photo of Daniel. At 5 a.m., the post reached almost 150,000 likes. As for husband and wife Nico Bolzico and Solen Yusuf, it looks like they are waiting for a special gift to arrive. In his Instagram post, Nico greeted everyone a Happy New Year. And he says, quote, looks like we are spending it in an unexpected place this time, waiting for #BabyBalls. And actor and host Vong Navarro greeted his followers. In a video, Navarro welcomed the new year with his family. He also shares videos of fireworks displays seen from their home.
And before we go, as we welcome the new year, CNN Philippines asked you, what is your New Year's resolution? And here are some comments from our followers on social media. Epenito Simbilio said his New Year's resolution is to stay fit and healthy. Pareho tayo, Epilito. This one from Monica Rendoque. She said, magiging super kuripot, savings first. And then, some sort of hugot naman from Van Will. His New Year's resolution goes, never make promises, promise. While Vincent Golpo commented, ang madalas na New Year resolution ng lahat, magda-diet ako ngayong bagong taon.
Ayun, lahat naman. All throughout the
Raise
year,
your
we're
hand.
always wanting to go on a diet, right?
It's a constant New Year's resolution.
Is it? Why is that? I guess people just,
Well, it's
fresh start.
We want a better self? Or
Yes, of course. Everyone wants to improve themselves. And the new year is just one stepping stone, I guess, to be able to make everyone a better...
Parang a jump-off point kasi yun na January 1. It's a new year. Parang it's time to change your habits, your lifestyle, ganyan.
But interesting enough, our friends on Facebook were also sharing their New Year's resolution, and a lot of them were saying, love yourself. They were going to, me first.
I agree. Di mo ba love sarili mo?
Because sometimes you forget.
Self-awareness, growing appreciation of oneself. And I guess siguro ako, if I have to make a resolution, siguro travel more.
Kasi, you're already traveling.
No. I mean, for leisure siguro. Kasi, I'm just saying, maraming vacations, maraming long weekends, maraming holidays this 2020. So, I'm sure a lot of our friends are planning saan sila pwedeng pumunta this
Parang gusto nga na mag-travel up north, hindi puro Mindanao.
Mindanao na lang.
Which is okay. Kasi taga doon ako.
Oo nga pala, taga Zamboanga. Okay.
All right, well, Happy New Year!
Happy New Year to everybody.
Well, that's it for us. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Christine Jacob Sandeja. See you tomorrow.
Again, it's January 1, 2020. Guess what? New Day is back tomorrow, 6 on the dot. I'm Andre Felix. Happy New Year.
And happy 2020 once again. See you again next time. I'm Dr. Freddy Gomez.
New day, new year, new decade. I'm David Santos. Enjoy your morning. Happy New Year, everyone.